to see it.
Happy day, happy night. You're listening to El Happy Breath Hour. Our intention is for you to learn and practice how the breath can guide you to wake up, let go, and take charge and shift of your life so you can shift your success and happiness in life, love, business, sports, and beyond. I'm your host, Roberto Suarez, El Happy Coach. So to get started, we're going to take a few side of reliefs so we can relax, so we can let go, and so we can be here now. So let's take, for our audience, you can join us and just take a few inhales, and then we're going to exhale through the mouth. So let's do it together, okay? So we inhale, exhale. Do it again, inhale, exhale. Keep your attention on the breath, inhale, let it go. Couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. And the last one, when inhale, we pause. And when we inhale and pause. Inhale. Pause. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Notice how you're feeling. Then let it go. How's everybody feeling? Good?
Feeling better.
Great. Yeah. So our topic today is, I don't know what the real topic is, but the title is Uplift Your Life or Business with Breathwork and Blockchain Technology. So I'm going to introduce really fast our guest today. We can start with Malcolm there. He's the founder and the managing director of BridgeDeFi. And he's been around in the crypto world for 3 years. And he's owned and managed several companies. We also have Chris Dugan. He's a founder and marketing director of BridgeDeFi. He's been around for 3 years and also has owned and managed several businesses. And we have Zaina Burley. He's a founder and the glue that holds BridgeDeFi together as his traffic manager.
Thank you.
So, she's one of our founders as well.
She's a founder. Did I just say? Okay, yeah. She's absolutely one of the founders. And to get started, let's just any one of you can start and just tell us your story. How did you get to the BridgeDeFi, or whatever you want to say. Maybe you had a transformational story to get there, and we can start with that. You want to start, Chris, or whoever?
Yeah, that's fine. My journey actually started about the time that Dogecoin kind of jumped in the picture with Elon Musk kind of backing it, on his Twitter Spaces or in, I guess, on Twitter. I had a friend of mine that I went to go visit. He was asking me about it. I didn't know anything about crypto other than Bitcoin. I've heard of Ethereum, and he had ended up buying a bunch of it. Actually, it was up, really good. Like he had spent I don't know, $200, and he was sitting at about 8,000 or 9,000, at the time. And I was like, well, I got to look into this a little bit more, and so like I tend to do, which sometimes is to my detriment, when I dive down a rabbit hole, I I tend to go pretty deep, and which I did. And within 2 weeks, I had set up actually an account with Robinhood, and started there.
Okay.
And then delve into the world of Discord for the first time too. Just finding projects that were out there, and found out about the difference between something like Robinhood, that's a custodial service, and something like MetaMask or Trust Wallet, that you have your own keys for. And that's sort of how I transitioned into the decentralized end of it. And very first project that I got into, that wasn't just some of the, the blue chips, so to speak, in crypto. Did really well. Ended up, I think, eventually put about $1,200 into it. Had started maybe with like $200 in it. It had gone up to, I think it was about 15 grand in like 6 days.
Wow.
There was just, I mean, everybody in there was holding. Anybody, we had new people coming in every day selling. I mean, not selling, buying. Nobody was selling. Everybody was hanging on to this thing. And it went up like, I want to say like 33,000%, during like the first 9 days. And then that dev, not the owners of the project, but the dev they hired was a guy in Switzerland, and in the middle of the night he walked off with most of the money. It was, my first rug. Well, none of the owners of the project had sold a token or anything, and they were like, okay, well, we'll take what's left and try to relaunch this thing and get that hype going again. And we got behind them. It took about 3 weeks. Everybody that was in that community was very active, and anyway, we all relaunched. A lot of us put more money into the relaunch because we thought it was going to do something similar as the first launch, and also wanted trying to get our money back that we had lost out of that. And about 3 weeks into that one, the devs decided that they were going to rug it. So we all actually got rugged twice on the same project. But that led to a group being formed that was trying to track these people down. And then just through meeting somebody in that group, I ended up getting involved in another project. And after that project, a lot of those people that were involved started their own. And that's where I met Malcolm. We call her Zebs. Some people call her Xana. That's just her TG handle name. So I don't think about it when I say it. So sometimes it'll come up Xana, sometimes it'll go up Zebs, but that's where we met her. Malcolm and I would work together for a little while before then. And there were 7 of us that decided to get together and do a project in a little different way that we felt like could be helpful to new people, that trying to help them not go through some of the pitfalls that we did. And we all have our own stories as far as those pitfalls go. So that's, by the way, that was just like the first project I've ever gotten into. That's not the first project or the last project that I got rugged on. So, there's we've got rugged on projects this year. We call them Degen plays, and they're high risk, but can be high reward. And but that's not what we're doing. We actually have incorporated business. We incorporated in Portugal, and I'm gonna actually let Malcolm tell you a little bit more about that. Zebs, I've been speaking for a little while.
No, that's great, because most of the my audience, they're in a whole different world, but they all need to diversify or be able to generate more income, so they can do the breath work. You know what I'm saying? Like because they're always looking how to create a breathwork business, and they're more like connected. A lot of them never run a business before, right? But that's the way they want to make a living from that. And I feel that they'll say, like, for example, with ArcFi, right? I know that I could generate enough cash to be able to do that business. If we don't get rugged, now that
I don't see that happening with that team.
no,
got a lot of faith in that team.
That was just kind of like
yeah.
I like that. I've been rugged in all the ways, in the corporate world for a long time, so I understand. Yeah. Okay, so who's next?
I can just a quick, I'll go on to the BridgeDeFi side of things. But just quickly, just about myself, I think one of the things that I've learned, I've been for most of my career, I've been a photographer and run large studios. I'm from South Africa, and we had about 8 or 9 studios. We've had large, quite a large photographic business that we ran, and mainly in the advertising commercial world. And you're still a freelancer, and you're still working for you're working for yourself, maybe you're working for a company. You're basically just building up enough to get by. And all along, I kept on saying to my wife, I said, we've got to try something. We've got to have a side hustle. We've got to have something else that if something happens to me, which did happen, unfortunately, you've got to have something that you can live off if something happens. And we battled to try and find something, and then COVID struck. And after you mentioned about your knees, well, my issues in the hips, I've had about 8 hip replacements.
Wow.
So with all that happening and not being able to work, we just had to find something different. And so during COVID, I started studying different things, got to introduce to different communities, 2019 or around about there, or whenever it started. And we started looking, and that's where I got introduced to crypto, and also went through projects that rugged and lost money, and like we all have. But I spent a year studying, which was very important for me, trading. So I studied crypto trading. So I have quite a good knowledge on that side, even though I don't crypto trade, because that's a very specific mindset you've got to have if you're going to get into trading. You've really got to know, you've got to know what you're doing, but you've got to have 100%. It's all in the mind. If you don't get it right in your trading, then you're going to lose. Yeah. Is the biggest problem, and that's the biggest problem in crypto. So for me, it was realizing that I needed to have that extra source and that extra means that I could have. And so we went on and, going through different projects and learning to trade, and then meeting Chris, and then getting to this point. Now, even with the business I'm doing now with BridgeDeFi, and what I like about it is we're building it out so that you will be able to have you can spread your risk, and we'll explain how we do that down the line as we're building the company. But it was very important to have something that I could do from anywhere. And even if I had to go, if things got really tough and I had to go and get a full-time job, I could still, well, this is my full-time job. I do this full-time, running BridgeDeFi. But if, times got tough or something and I could still do that because of the nature of the beauty of crypto and the beauty of working as basically a digital nomad. That's made all the difference. And it allows you, so I think, if people think about it, there's very little excuse for not being able to make a plan. There are plenty of opportunities out there, whether it be in the crypto space or the DeFi, or in the digital world. There are opportunities. You just got to go and look for them. And I think that's one of the things we're wanting to offer from our company in BridgeDeFi, and moving across to that, following on from what Chris was saying. The most important thing about BridgeDeFi is showing how you can use real world business and bring it to, or traditional business, and bring it to blockchain, or actually bring blockchain to those businesses. And that's our first product that we've launched. BridgeDeck is what we do. So we actually closing that gap between the real world and blockchain, and showing how effective blockchain can be in real world business. Because I think a lot of people think crypto, so you're going to just trade Bitcoin and try and hope to make a lot of money because the coins skyrocket, and then you sell at the wrong time, and people don't realize the big institutions are out there, and they're swinging, or the big whales, they're moving the markets. And if you aren't one of those whales or following them very closely, you're going to have a tough time. So we wanted to show that you can actually use blockchain and cryptocurrencies in the real world without having those risks associated with it. So that's the large part. And also we want it to be very democratic and that anybody could join. You know, at the end of the day, the beauty of crypto is as long as you have an internet connection, you can take part in it. And it doesn't discriminate against you. You know, you can't go in, you know, you can go into a bank and you might be somebody of a different ethnicity or a size or a whatever, or male or female, but somehow people tend to label you in some way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
I mean, I said judge.
Judge you. Yeah, that's the right thing. And then crypto can't do that. It doesn't do that because you can join and you can take part. There's no discrimination, and that's what I love about it. So we're wanting to use that means in BridgeDeFi to bring it to everybody, to make, you know, the ordinary person on the street have accessibility to what the few in the past have had all the accessibility to. If you want to get into a company, it's normally only the rich and wealthy, or the investors or the angel investors. Those are all the big guys, and they're just getting more and more of the pie. And it's not being spread between everybody. So that's very much what we're wanting to do. And I think BridgeDeck, our first platform that we've launched, is exactly that. And the first project that we've launched on it, we actually launched last night, is really epitomizes what we're trying to achieve from that. So yeah.
Congratulations. You know, getting that first project going. I briefly looked at your website, and you know, and it felt like, you know, for somebody, let's say like me, that I've never I've learned enough, but I don't understand it, you know, totally. It would be a good way to get in and learn and be in a community that can support you, and you don't have to lose. You know what I'm saying? That you have a higher probability of winning.
Yeah, very much so. And we've actually, sorry, Chris, I don't know if you want to take it.
No, I was just going to mention that, you know, one of the things that we're doing now is what we call the Bridge Learn Academy, which, you know, we'll go through, you know, teaching people how to set up the wallets. But now, you know, we did want to get, you know, something out there, you know, so some of it's basic, some of it goes into more depth, but we're going to be adding new courses, you know, to that all the time, you know, as we go, and you know, just try to get it easier to understand, you know, easier to comprehend, more useful, especially to that new user that walks into this space and it's just like, do I turn left? Do I turn right? Well, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? You know, and it's it can be, you know, scary.
Talking about the wallet, right?
Yes.
You know, I started in crypto. Somebody said, look, just go on Coinbase and buy some Bitcoin and some Ethereum and all that. And I'm almost even now after 2 years, but there was a time that when Ethereum was going through this thing that they said I had to get the MetaMask, and I tried to go in there to stake, and this thing, I just said, the hell with this. I'm staying with Coinbase. I'm not getting anything. But now I got my MetaMask. I got going. You know, now what I need is somebody to teach me to put everything into my ledger.
You know, we talk about we talk about, you know, not your keys, not your crypto. But you know, that's the thing about those wallets, that they are yours. You know, you do have that key. You know, say, and if you lose that key,
that was like,
you lose what's in that wallet.
I have to remember that, where am I going to put it, and then, you know, like,
exactly.
You know, if I start losing my mind, then I won't ever be able to find it.
Actually, that's what we're trying to do is with BridgeDeFi, is give people a place to, one, where they feel comfortable in asking this question, you know, that they're not, you know, walking into a you know, sort of room where everybody's already educated, and you're the one coming in there not knowing a thing about it, and, you know, maybe feeling a little awkward, that, you know, that you don't want to ask. So we're trying to create that space.
Yeah, I think that it's a great thing, you know, like everybody I know, the only way they, like, I know a few guys that have studied and they made money on it and stuff like that, but you know, there were people that have played different games, you know, in the internet game, the communication game. Now they're playing the crypto game, you know, so they kind of know the game, the game structure, right?
Right.
And how to play it. But most people, like, let's say my family, most of my friends, you know, they go, no, crypto, are you crazy? You know, blah blah blah. They give me the whole story. So now I just show them my vault, and I go, here's what happened with $1,000. I got $9,000. I'm making $2,000 a month. You know, I don't know how it's happening, but it's happening. You know,
The magic
anyway,
of crypto.
yeah. So Suzanne, can you jump right in now? Tell your story, or how, you know,
Sure.
what's your role? What's your role? How you're playing? You know, what are you creating?
Oh, wow, that's a very broad subject. I'll try to do it justice. My husband and I have been very interested in getting into crypto. But just like the rest of these gentlemen, Chris and Malcolm mentioned, and a very similar story to a lot of other people is it's really hard to figure out where to start. And you almost need like that mentor or crypto coach to get you in, because they say do your own research, but it's extremely overwhelming. And you hear the glory stories, but you also hear of how dangerous that it can be. And if you click on the wrong thing, like you could lose everything. And so I was always the play it safe kind of a person and take it easy, and had to do all my research. And I was very fortunate in my crypto journey. I had a girlfriend who had a brother who was very into it, had been into crypto and investing for about 7 years. And she told me about it in a project and kind of guided me through, showed me how to set up a wallet, how to invest, where to move the money, how to use central exchanges and decentralized exchanges. She really guided me through and gave me that foundation in order to really make my own way. She like taught me enough that I could then take that forward and continue on. And I happened to invest in a project, and I met these two wonderful, wonderful gentlemen and the rest of our team on another project. And I invested in a lot of different things. I got the crypto fever. And so I would try this, this, and this. And I learned very quickly that you do need that coach, and you need that person that's been in there a while, that recognizes those pitfalls. And you can't avoid it all. Like you cannot 100% mitigate, never, you know, because of the fluctuations of market and economy, and like we can never tell the future. But I've been extremely fortunate in having mentors and people that have been around enough to guide me into different things. And when I find a project that I'm interested in and I'm doing my own research, I'll punt it over to a couple of them and say, hey, take a look at this. What do you think of this? What's your gut feeling tell you? Because I think that's where it boils down to, is once you've been in long enough, you have this almost innate instinct, and you can read through something. And just like Chris was mentioning, yeah, this sounds like a pretty solid one, or this is a degen play. Know that when you go in, it's like 50-50. You could be a millionaire tomorrow, or you could lose it all. So take your chance, like going gambling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, I think, is the biggest part of crypto, is knowing that you never invest more than you can afford. And if you're successful, then that's amazing. Be sure to pay yourself. That was one of the hugest lessons that I learned, was not taking that return on my investment. And I was constantly chasing the bigger gains and bigger gains. And rather than just making that, 5x and being happy with it, I was like, I want that 30,000x, and that's where I think a lot of people are chasing those giant numbers.
Yeah.
And when you take that opportunity that, let's say you put in $200 or $2,000, but once you get that opportunity where you've had enough growth and you're able to take that back out, it takes the emotion out of it. You're not losing anything now. It's all free money and you're able to mess with it. So my experience in crypto has been learning as much as you can, meeting great people, and we're all investors and we've all been through these different experiences and pitfalls. And that's kind of how the birth of BridgeDeFi came to be, is we were talking about how can we bridge that gap. That's kind of our catchphrase, is bridging that gap from the real world into crypto and letting people who are interested in it see the power of the blockchain and how can we best utilize that. And so that's how we formed, you know, BridgeDeFi and BridgeLearn. And my background is healthcare. So I've been a nurse almost 20 years and I am in nursing education and my heart of a teacher. And so I am very passionate. Malcolm and Chris and I all are very passionate about being that coach for people, like giving them a platform that has integrity, that has people that have experience, that they can go and know these people are not going to give you some weird link that's going to get you into a bad experience and give you a horrible outlook on this, that we're going to coach you every step of the way and teach you how to fish. So then you can do your own research.
Wow. You know, like you guys are right on. And, you know, I'm a happy coach, so I believe in coaching all my life. You know, my grandfather was considered the greatest athlete Cuba's ever had, and he was a coach for 35 years, and he was my best mentor my whole life. And then, like, you know, my football coaches, basketball coaches, then my business coaches. So I've been a business coach, I've been a life coach. And it's so important because coaching helps you. It helps you just go to a whole different level, right? And you have somebody that listens, that can listen to you, right? And be able to guide you like the right way so you can make better choices. And I think it's so much needed, you know. So I think it's good. Yeah.
And Malcolm, I mean, he said this so many times to us before when we're building BridgeLearn, is knowledge is free.
Yeah.
And those of us that can share with other people and have that opportunity to change somebody's life for the better for the rest of their life, I want to be that. I mean, that's how they sold me, is they have similar outlooks and morals as me, and we all just want people. I mean, that's why we built BridgeDeFi, is we want to help people see what DeFi can do.
Oh, you guys are right on.
And so the what we call the foundation, the BridgeDeFi Foundation, we have like an NFT that you can purchase to be a part of that. And you know, that's a group of you know, experienced crypto people, you know, that are in this, you know, exclusive group. We have separate rooms set up for them. But there's, you know, there's all kinds of discussions that would go on there. It's not just necessarily Bridge related, although, you know, they get to find out what's coming up, you know, on Bridge sooner. They get to participate in what before it's just sort of opened up to the general public. But it really is a place, you know, to be able to be mentored, you know, and get the information that, you know, something you just don't understand, or, you know, you reviewed a project that you might be interested in and you really want to get, you know, a couple other people's opinion on it, that you know more about crypto than you. I always ask, you know, for information from people that I know that know more than me. You know, I always like to learn. So
sorry, it's not like getting all your information from YouTube,
right?
You know, like it's like the breath. You know, when I ask people, do you do breath work? And they goes, yeah. And I go, what do you do? And they go, box breathing. And go, who taught you? They go, oh, I saw it in YouTube. You know,
it's never the same on YouTube. And I think the course that we've got is so much down that line as well, because the beauty of that course that we've got, it's actually got about 20 lectures up already.
Wow.
You can go, so you right from the start, what you need to do to get a MetaMask wallet. It goes into a bit of the history of crypto. But the beauty of that course is that if you purchase that course, you automatically get that foundation NFT. So you automatically become a member of the community that Chris is talking about. So you get to learn from both sides. And when people ask me what they think if they know nothing about crypto and they want to get into it, I think it's very dangerous diving in and buying a whole lot of crypto. So we've got a solution for them because Web3 is everything. We should actually be more talking about Web3, in my opinion, than about crypto, because Web3, I don't know how familiar you with Web3.
Yeah, I think I'm still like in Web 0. You know, I'm coming up with an app, a breath app, and I keep telling my partner, go, listen, that app is going to be simple, but that app is Web 0, believe me.
So
You're on a Zoom meeting. You're at least Web 2.
In a simple nutshell, just to really simply explain it, what if you can imagine? So you with ArcFi, yeah, and they do. When you go and you want to access their app, the only way you can access their app is by opening your wallet and connecting their app with your wallet. That's Web3.
Okay.
And what Web3 does is means you could take, so let's say, for example, if you have a website, but you only want members to be able to connect to your website, you could then sell an NFT, for example, put that NFT in your MetaMask wallet. And when they opened up your website, it would see your NFT and it would connect directly. And that's what's going to make a huge change to everything. So it's that wallet connect. And what you can do, Bridge Learn, is you can come in and you can learn about it. You can buy with normal fiat currency. You can buy the course, and then you can learn. And at the same time, you can get that NFT, and you can open up a wallet that it explains, and you can put that NFT into that wallet. And you don't ever have to buy any crypto until you're comfortable with what you've learned and what you need. And then you can put crypto in, and there's no gas needed to just open a wallet and put an NFT or funds into the wallet. That doesn't cost anything. It's only when you want to send out of the wallet that you need to put gas in. So it's that wallet connect that's everything. And that is what allows you to transact on the internet. You connect your wallet with another wallet when you send funds. You connect it with a website. So you could have a website that's got nothing to do with crypto. It's just purely your personal website, but you only want specific people to see it. So it's far more secure doing that through Wallet Connect. So those are things that we're doing in BridgeDeFi, is we're showing people how to do that. And the companies that come on board with us, like we've got one company called Sorted that's come on board with us. They're selling a product, but to access their product, you'll have to connect their wallet. And basically their product is about sorting out your life. It's about storing all your data, storing everything, personal information about yourself, incredibly secure.
Like those keys you were talking about earlier.
It's basically those keys. So you can store those keys there. So you can have hundreds of keys and you can have lots of wallets, but you can store everything on that site and just keep one password, so it's safer. But what I'm trying to say is that Wallet Connect is everything. And by what we're doing at BridgeDeFi is wanting to bring people on and show them, look, this is a simple way of doing it. Here you can get in. Here's a really good community that you can talk to that's trusted, because the only way they can access the foundation room is with their foundation NFT. So they have to connect with their wallet to access that. So it's a safe environment. And that for us is what's so important at BridgeDeFi, that we can bring people in, show them in a safe environment, and then also offer people who are familiar with crypto to be able to access really good products and services that we're going to be building. And we have our first product, BridgeDeck, up and running with our first clients on board. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, wow. Let me ask you, did I read something that you help, if I want to take my app and make it like Web3 and all that, can you guys do that?
That's exactly what BridgeDeck is set up for.
Yeah.
Malcolm or Chris, do you want to tell him a little bit more about the security features that we've put into play for BridgeDeck? as far as like the checks and balances and what it would
You
take
go
for
for
someone?
it. Yeah. Well,
Oh, no, no.
you're so good at it. But I can't even. But
Well,
Yeah.
they can hop in a little bit and help me out, but we didn't want, because we wanted to bring integrity into DeFi and really show the real world, like the traditional world, that crypto isn't scary. You can have reputable businesses and do your business on the blockchain. And we really wanted to carry that through everything that we do in BridgeDeFi, is that we want to earn your trust and we want to keep it. And one of the ways that we're doing that is we have certain requirements of people who want to go on our platform. If you're going to be on our website, we're going to make sure that you are among the same, cut from the same cloth, and you're not going to take advantage of our investors. I mean, we care about them. We're creating all of this for them, and we want to make sure that nobody's out there to do anything nefarious. And so we have a long list, well, not long, it's like 5 things of, we want to make sure we know who you are, where you are, and what your idea of what you're going to do with any funds that are raised on there, on our BridgeDeFi platform. And so we do require, they don't have to necessarily, if they don't, I know doxing is a big thing in crypto. People are either really for it or really against it, but we do require them to dox to us. And we keep that information secure, but we verify, we do background checks. We make sure that they are who they say they are, and that we know where they live, and they sign a contract. That's one of the reasons why Malcolm is living in Portugal now, is because we went that route. We took the extra 6 to 7 months to fully incorporate our business so that we could have legal binding contracts with people, to give that added security to our investors and really level up the play.
yeah, that's really, thanks. Yes, that's terribly important. If I could just add 1 or 2 things to that as
Please.
well. I think the other thing is, if somebody is using the bridge deck to raise funds, or they've got a new product that they're wanting to develop, they have to have a proof of work in place as well. So we have a milestone system in place that they have to show that, right, once they go in and they start, they have to have a company, they have to have all the registration in them. And then before they can receive any funds, or the next set of funds, they actually have to show us proof of work. And then we could have 5 or 6 milestones that they have to prove all along. Now, just to give you an idea, the company that we launched last night, which is all in the sustainable energy side and utilizing Bitcoin to create sustainable energy. And it's basically green mining of Bitcoin to create sustainable energy. What they're going to be doing is, they're going to be, throughout their process, they're going to be providing documented evidence of the infrastructure they're putting in, the power stations they're going to, or power renewable solar power stations they're going to be building. So they're going to be showing proof of work all along. And that for us is terribly important as well, that we don't have people. So it's real world business creating real world infrastructure, etc. And they have to show us that that's actually happening. And that's great for the investor to see as well.
Yeah,
and from a security, factor, that if a company raises, $1 million, they're not getting that $1 million all at once. By making them hit those milestones, there's a certain amount of money that's retained, their investors' money that's retained, so that if they get their initial funding to start, and then they meet that first milestone and they get an additional funds there, but they never make it to that second milestone, and say there were 5 or 6 in place, we've still got 60% of the money that we can return back to the investors. So that's the purpose of doing that, and making sure that people are following through with their business plans.
You're holding people accountable.
That accountability partner. And most people, BridgeDeFi, and we can go into this a little bit more here later, but that's really designed for the entrepreneur, the person who is creating a new business from scratch. And it can become extremely overwhelming and also very enticing. And so being that accountability partner to coach them through, and like, hey, are you hitting your milestones? You made a promise to your community. And we're not trying to control, but we have with our team, we've got, you know, 50 plus years of real world business experience and 20 plus years of crypto experience. And so we want to be there to help people, be that accountability partner, and help their business be successful. And we want to set them up as much as possible for that. And we talked through it, and those milestones, I think, are the way to go. And ours, we don't have that money stored someplace where anybody can get it. We have it in like a safe, and it requires, we've got 7 core founders on the team, and it requires a majority of 4 or more in order to make any transactions out of that thing. So we've really gone above and beyond, I think, of security factor for both our clients and our investors.
Ooh. Yeah. So you guys are basically supporting entrepreneurs, right? To be able to succeed through funding, through coaching, through bringing in the new technology.
Well, that was it. Yeah, with BridgeDeFi, yeah, that's, you know, the main goal there. You know, we have other platforms, and those are going to be more, you know, investor minded. You know, that you know, so these people that, you know, aren't in crypto yet. And I say this all the time. I think there's, in the next 5 years, the new people that come into crypto over the next 5 years will far outnumber the people that are already here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so we're trying to give them a platform where there's different things that they can invest in or be a part of, like property ownership, or at least, you know, being able to get returns back, you know, on property investments. Another one of our platforms is going to actually be more geared towards charities, but in a sustainable way, where, you know, you're going to be given, you know, money, say, to this charity, but we're going to try to incorporate it in with other businesses, you know, IRL businesses that are already operating, maybe already have a relationship with that charity, so that the people that are actually donating to that charity can then gain benefit from actually holding that NFT. You know, it has value more so than just where maybe they can get on a loyalty, you know, rewards program with that company, or, you know, something like that. So there's a lot of avenues there, you know, that we can go with it. And then Bridge Grow is, you know, that's going to be looking at different things where we can kind of spread the risk out, and you know, have investments where you can get, you know, good solid returns. Certainly more than you can in, you know, in your, you know, traditional investing. But where that risk is spread out over multiple things, so that, you know, all your eggs aren't in one basket. You know, there. So it's, and then, you know, like I said, the academy that will just keep growing. That'll get better and better with, you know, more videos, more interactions. One of the things Malcolm wants to do with that is to actually hold like Zoom meetings like this, you know, for the academy, so people can come in there, they can, you know, they can ask their questions, or they can have something explained to them on a chart, or, you know,
or demonstrated live. You know, this is how you set it up.
You know, same way you would do an online course. You know, in a classroom setting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if I can just piggyback on a little bit of what Chris had said, we all came together with this common goal. And when you get these minds together that are all creative and free thinking and have had many experiences, that's why we have all these wonderful ideas. And we've got like 4 to 5 things in development right now, is because we're constantly working on how else can we improve? How else can we improve? And each one of those different platforms are geared at a different like clientele, or what's the word I'm looking for?
A different
niche, and for each one of them. But BridgeDeFi, originally it was for entrepreneurs. Like, we wanted people who had a great idea but just didn't know how to unfold that and how to reach the right people and all of that. We wanted to be that kind of connector in between. But then it developed into so much more. as far as who can use it and the way that we built those contracts and stuff. And I'd like to actually hand over to Malcolm, because he does a really great job of really explaining why we call BridgeDeck a business, all-encompassing business solutions platform.
Sure.
You keep it simple.
Thrown the ball in my court there. But look, it's an all-encompassing business solutions platform, because it's not just about a lot of people are doing crowdfunding sites at the moment where they're just raising funds. What we're trying to do, and with BridgeDeck mainly, is that whatever the business that you have in mind, there's invariably going to be a solution where blockchain can help in that. And what we're trying to do is, so if somebody comes to us and says, look, we're wanting to just launch a product, it's already there, it already exists, we can have a solution for them in place, and we utilize NFTs to do everything. So we don't have that's one thing we haven't mentioned, by the way, is we don't have a token at all. And we very specifically chose not to have a token. At this stage, we see no reason to have a token, because the model that we've got, NFTs pretty much does everything. So if a business has got a business solution that they're trying to achieve, generally an NFT will be able to do that, because an NFT effectively is a contract. It's a contract that's on the blockchain, and because it's on the blockchain, it's verifiable for one, and you can identify it easy, and it's transparent. So you can see what's happening. So if you at the moment, if you put money into a bank, you don't really know where that money's going. And invariably they're letting out more money than they actually have, which is a bit scary with what's going on in the real world.
No, you don't have to tell me about banks.
Whereas,
I only look at the $1.52 I make on $10,000 savings a month.
very much so. And what they're making and what they're lending out that money of yours, it's quite scary.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So if so with our, one can bring a business to us, and we can look at a solution that will work well with that particular business. So we've got a number of companies already on, and we've looked at ways, and we've helped them and worked with them to showing them how using the blockchain to create a business solution works for them. And we're also using that for ourselves. So we've looked at how does the blockchain work for developing our own products and building our own business solutions, which are BridgePop and BridgeGrow. So those are very important as well. So we're using it for other companies, we're also doing it for ourselves. So while in the background, we're developing our own products and ideas, utilizing what other companies are also doing. So we're building that knowledge all the time with the business solutions that we're doing. So I think we're more than just, I don't even like the crowdfunding term for us, because we're creating NFTs, and people sell NFTs, and they generate profits from that, and the profits they generate from that, they further develop. And also some people are just purely selling products like Sorted, where you will get your course, and there will be a product that, that'll be a product in itself that you get. It's not raising funds or you. So yeah, it's an all-round business solutions platform at the end of the day that we're trying to generate. And it's for large or small businesses that we can do it for.
Wow. So
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I was just going to add one last thing onto that is it doesn't matter if you are an entrepreneur that has a great idea, or if you are an existing business and you're like, how can I get my business onto the blockchain? Because that opened up a whole new world of investors, business practices, that transparency and security that he's talking about. And our contracts, we've got 3 different contracts built. One of them is like a mother contract that creates NFT contracts. And so if you have a great business already and you're like, I want to move part or all of my business onto the blockchain, how can I do that? We can help you do that. And so we can create those NFTs for you, and then you can sell your product on BridgeDeck. And then we hand over, that's another thing we didn't say about, once there's a successful campaign that's completed, we're not in control of your business anymore. We hand all of that over to them, and we coach them through it, and we show them, this is how you manage these different contracts. And then we also have a contract built that is a distribution contract. So if there's going to be any sort of reward sharing, profit sharing, anything like that, they have the ability to do that with their investors or the people that buy or purchase those NFTs. They can then say, okay, now we've gotten this amount of funds, and they can spit it out equally to all of the NFT investors.
Well, so you guys are like, have you guys ever heard of Headspace?
Headspace?
Headspace.
Headspace.
Headspace. It's
Yes.
head. It's a meditation. It's a meditation app.
Huh.
They have 10 million subscribers.
Wow.
We're gonna have 10 million subscribers someday.
One second. So my app is HappyBreath. It's simplifying breath work, and I just want to get to 5 million. You know,
Oh, shoot for the moon.
so maybe.
100.
Right. So I might have my partner that he says that I am the intellectual property, and that I have to get away from the business world, you know, in terms of trying to create deals or whatever, and just concentrate on the breath, and maybe talk to you guys, you know.
Absolutely.
We
You
love
know,
that.
so it would be great to take, you know, just from what you're talking about, it's just perfect, I think, you know.
Well, we
How
have, yeah, I mean, we have a company now that is, will be, you know, you'll see a lot about it on BridgeTech here pretty soon. But that's, you know, they're doing something similar. It's in the travel and leisure business, but they're creating an app where people will be able to pay for, you know, their destinations with crypto. And they've got, I think, something like 12,000 properties, you know, that's going to be on that. But that's, you know, again, something similar, you know, they're raising the funds to be able to, you know, to develop that app. They actually already have the business structure in place. But they need this one part of it. So that's kind of where one of the things where an existing business has come to us,
Yes.
and in wanting to develop something new for their business and open up a new niche. So yeah, 100%. That's,
And
you know,
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go up against the big guns, because with your creativity and your ideas, like, they're going to be like, who? Headspace who? In a couple of days? Same thing, or a couple of days, couple of months, years maybe. But same thing with these guys. Like, they're going up and challenging the big, like, Airbnbs and all of that. And they're doing it with, you know, head held high and chin up, because they have a new innovative way of changing the way that people are doing stuff.
Listen, I think every trader in the world should have my app.
Yeah. Yes. They need it.
Absolutely.
They need it.
Yeah, so, but anyway, this is awesome. What else is there? If you had to say what your vision is, you know, like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, and you look back, let's say 10 years from now, what has happened, right, with BridgeDeFi? What was created?
I think it would be that there's a platform where there's still going to be that same thing we want to be there for now. You know, there's still going to be those new people that are coming in every year. There's just going to be a lot more of them. You know, I also see the 4 products basically, or platforms that we have coming up. All those are going to be built out. I'm sure that they'll end up with a couple of more, you know, platforms along the way when we realize that there's a need for that. But you know, the biggest thing is going to have a community that's being brought into the space in the right way. You know, and a really solid base for others to you know, be able to join and learn and just, I mean, similar to what you do with the breathing, you know, just having those coaches there, having those mentors that are there to take out, and because we followed this path, you know, we're sitting on a good passive income to live off of with all the different offerings and stuff that will be on all these platforms.
And for somebody, not for business people, but for, let's say, for all the breath workers out there in the whole world that are looking to make, like are struggling now with some of their, financials, but they're totally into like supporting people, healing people through the breath. What would be the one tip or the one gift that you can offer them, like in terms of, what's a step that they need to take if in getting, let's say, getting into crypto? What would that be? What would be the first step? Join you guys, whatever it is.
Yeah,
you,
yeah, absolutely. It would, I think joining our Discord or Telegram channels, where you can get introduced to at a deeper level than obviously what you can just do here, to what we're doing and why we're doing it, and the cost to actually get one of our foundation NFTs is not that high. It's like $250. And that we've got it set up so that you can do that, and then you've got access to the course. You have access to the sorted app that Malcolm was talking about. That all comes with it. So there's a lot of value right here out of the gate, with that. We're going to be using foundation memberships as almost like a focus group for what we're doing. Especially, because so much of what we're doing is going to be based on the marketing. And so, we're setting aside 12% of our revenue that we bring in off all our platforms, to pay for those services of the foundation members. So, that will go through, just straight to their, wallet, because they hold that NFT. But the main thing, when you got the NFT, you've got the course, and you got that, you can get it through the course. You can buy the course first, and then once you've got things set up, we've made multiple ways to end up being a part of the foundation, being a part of the academy, and being able to use its resources, and also, having the other benefits that come along with being a foundation member, like the sorted app that'll come out.
Let me ask you, in regards to the academy, so if somebody had like a happy coach, like I have it's a HappyBreath mastery training program, which you get certified in 4 levels. Is that platform, can you offer that platform through the academy, or
Yeah,
you would create something else?
I think we could do something with that, and we just have to kind of get together.
Right now I'm putting everything into Google Classroom.
Gotcha. I think well, Malcolm, he's the one that's been handling most of the academy. He could tell you more about that.
So I'm just saying, you don't have to, I'm just just getting a little bit more information for those people that do have, trainings and stuff. Like a lot of the, breathwork people, they have different trainings and all that, and they probably use, whatever, all those platforms that are for training, but they're not, I don't think they're Web3. So,
yeah. So, well, look, I mean, we use a teaching platform to build our course on, and from that platform we can run Zooms and classes, and you can either run live or just do the normal courses. So we run it all through there.
Okay.
But the access to it, we will build in the Web3 aspect to it, so that will be coming down the line. At the moment,
okay, all right,
we have the codes to get in, but that's all coming down the line, because our main focus has been on BridgeDeFi. But definitely we can look at different options. I think the whole thing is to bring what you've got and look at the options that are there and what people are wanting. And then what we will do is sit with you and work out something that works best to do that. And just getting back to your other comment, just on what advice, what I've learned, having been running my own businesses all along, and especially being time-based businesses. The problem with anybody who's doing anything on time, you're limited. You can't expand. You can't. It's very difficult to expand your business, because if people want to use you, then they if I think about it, if people are trying to help other people and do that, and the one thing I've realized is you've got to help yourself first. And by doing something like this and securing an income in understanding something like crypto that can allow you to do that, will it free you up to help more, to do other things. Because sometimes I find a lot of people, especially coming from South Africa, where it's a poor country, and you see a lot of people helping people, but they end up in the same boat as the people they're trying to help, because they haven't got their personal side sorted out. So this is a great way of doing it, where you can do it in such a way that it doesn't take, maybe it's an hour a week or half an hour a week, and you can do something and you can start building up an income over time, and then not putting too much pressure on your, so I always believe getting yourself right first and then helping. So
absolutely. Yeah, having that that's basically covering your we call it the lower chakra, like the security factor being taken care of.
Yeah.
So that opens up your heart, opens up everything, so you can be able to flow and do what you love to do. Instead of coming from fear, you're coming more from love, from from another space. So you're going to be more successful. At least that's my belief.
No, and you're absolutely right. And you're absolutely right. And I think that's very much part of our core focus, is to give people that opportunity. We might have a big company that's coming in, but what that big company is doing, that's launching a product or whatever it is, it's bringing other people in that are going to invest in that, so that they can earn a return back on it. And so it's all about, building that for everybody to have a chance to play in that field.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think we've gone pretty long.
That's been a very interesting discussion.
I think it was great, and you guys are awesome. I can see that you play from the heart. That you guys all have gone through whatever you've gone through, and now you're creating something to help people, which that's I'm totally aligned with that. And one of some of the things that you talked about, to me, the most important is integrity. Because if that's not there in the foundation, it collapses, and it might take 1 year, it might take 20 years, it might take past your lifetime, but you're going to feel it. So
it's one of the things that I know Malcolm and Zeb's probably feel the same way about it, but the rest of the team that's not here, the four people, that's one of those common things with all of us, is that integrity, the work ethic, the doing things the right way for the right reasons, and making sure that you're protecting people as much as possible.
Yeah, and one thing that I learned about integrity is like being able to be in the space that people can be out of in integrity, and give them the space to get back in integrity. You get it, because I don't know, like I've been out of integrity, I don't know how many times, right? So it's like coming back and being able, and the quicker you can do it, the more life works, at least in my case,
Absolutely.
So but great. So what's the best way for people? I guess just go to your website, or you say Discord.
I would
Website,
say
channels.
From the website, you can get to pretty much anything. At the very bottom, we have like a footer that'll guide you into our community channels. So website, kind of do a little bit of your research, look through what we've got there, but then come connect with us. We love making relationships with people and getting to know people and helping and guiding them along the way. And the best way for people to do that is by joining either our Telegram or Discord community, but we're on all of the social media platforms as well. So if people aren't familiar with those communities, they can hop on and send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever they feel.
I was going to ask you, like, are you on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're approachable. So however
okay.
people want to connect with us, we would love it.
Okay, awesome. Anything else you want to say?
Just that our website is bridgedefi.com. So
great. Awesome. So you guys were awesome. And for all you listeners there, just take that action, and join their website and come play with, let's call it, let's come play with us, because I'm sure when we play with these guys and gals.
Yeah, I appreciate the medium that you're using here too to connect with people. I know you use it a good bit. I've kind of gone back and looked at some of it. I really think what you're doing here is good. Appreciate that, Coach.
And it's going to go through. This will go into like now is Spotify for podcaster, and I also put in YouTube. But it used to be called Anchor. It's a platform to do podcasts, right? I just use Zoom as a way to, I don't have to do a video, but I use Zoom, and then I just put it into Spotify. So it'll go to Spotify. They go to about 10 different venues.
Awesome.
That's great.
So I don't even know the venue, so I don't know how many people listen. So good. And for all the listeners, just hopefully you learned a lot today, especially if you're looking for a way to shift your reality in terms of your business or your life in a way that you're going to come from integrity, but it's going to really listen. Your life will change when you start making
different choices.
Different choices. Believe me, it's unbelievable. So thank you again for you guys to showing up. I always say that success is 90% showing up, and 10% taking action. So I love you guys, and see you next time. And,
thank you, Coach. We'll come back anytime.
Okay.
Thank you. We'd love to. Thanks so much.
Namaste, everybody. And remember, breathe happy, live happy.
That's right.
We'll definitely keep that in mind. We'll do it.